But anyway, I am super excited. I got so much to talk about this week. It's just nuts. But I do have my buddy Dan Sindel, is here on the phone. So 1 second, we're going to bring Dan on, and we're going to talk a little bit about music and life and fun and all kinds of things with Dan. Here, hold on 1 second. Danny boy, are you there?
Good morning.
Hey, Dan Sindel, how are you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm awesome. How you doing, Joe?
It's a beautiful day here in Morro Bay today, actually. It's a little bit chilly, you know. It's kind of amazing how cold it does get by the beach here. We were down in, like 36 last night. Really cold. It's crazy. I almost think I'm back in Vail or something. Anyway.
It's almost freezing.
Yeah, I know, right? I have to, while we're talking about the weather just a bit, I have to laugh. You really put up something super funny the other day on the Facebook. I just loved how everybody in LA was getting all up in arms about a couple days of rain, and I loved your caption on that comment was, hey, what are you getting all excited about? It's only 2 days of rain. We're only 38 days away from being biblical.
Yeah, that's right. Heaven Almighty, you better build an ark.
That made me laugh so hard. I got to admit, I wanted to share that with our listening audience. So we're only a few days away from being biblical, I guess. Anyway.
Aren't we always? Hey,
yeah.
Before we get started, please let me say good morning, 97.3, The Rock, Morro Bay.
All right. You know, we got to get you... we got to get a recording of that for you. We could keep it here in the studio. You could be one of our ID guys. That's going to be cool. Yeah, I like it.
That's right. You're listening to the Morning Joe Show on 97.3, 107.9, The Rock.
Oh, my gosh.
Coastal, what is that there?
you're hired.
Yeah. And worldwide.
You are, yeah. Yes. We are streaming worldwide. Yes, we are. You know, so we're reaching out, Dan. But you know what? The cool, exciting thing is one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on is not only are you an amazing rock star, but, you know, you got some new music coming out. And you know what? We are in the process of trying to help local bands and we're doing a little startup here of trying to do some booking and maybe, you know, management, merchandise, that kind of thing. The things that bands maybe either don't have the money for or don't have the time for, you know, and it really kind of boils down to the musicians should just worry about, you know, creating their music and playing it. And so we're trying to take a little bit of that out of it, but I'm starting to realize that, you know, it's a pretty tough road with new bands and selling your music and with the downloads and all that kind of fun stuff that's out there nowadays. But, you know, we met with a few people this weekend that are kind of up and coming. And, you know, it's always neat to get to hear some advice or just some insights, I would say, on, you know, the music industry. And it's very interesting because right now you have stepped out. You've recorded an album yourself. And you're in the process of helping promote that and get your stuff out there. So I wanted to hear a little bit from you, you know, about that process and the road that you're kind of on, and some of the insights that you're finding out when, you know, it used to be you signed with a record company and, you know, you made $1 or $2 off an album and they sold, you know, 20 billion albums and you made, you know, $40 billion. But anyway, it's not quite the same anymore. So I know, you know, you were kind of involved in the NAMM show, and I'd like to talk a little bit about that as well. But mostly I should probably shut up and give you a chance to talk.
Oh, no, I mean, you bring up a lot of different avenues of discussion. Which one to even attempt to address first is beyond me. But it's kind of funny. One of the things that you said, and one of the things that I'm facing is, and it kind of sucks, it's just the fact that everyone for the past 5, 10, 15 years has had the ability to record their own music in their bedroom or basement or living room or whatever and not go to a very expensive studio like we used to have to depend on a long time ago, you know, with the advent of Pro Tools and Ableton and all the different software that you could put on your computer and a little interface. You can now make music. So there are now more songs on iTunes than McDonald's ever sold a hamburger.
That's a good analogy.
I mean, we're now just lost in this endless void, just like a grain of sand of heaps and heaps of MP3s uploaded. And to get anyone's attention, to get your music listened to, is like the most futile, insane, pointless effort I've ever experienced. It's really hard. I mean, me, just as one single entity, I do my vast share of shameless promotions online. I do my stupid little posts on Facebook and Instagram and what have you, and it's kind of like shouting into a vast, dark cavern with no return except for your own lonely voice. And I know a lot of people probably feel the same way. Some people get the magic and they experience, maybe some viral action for a little while. But it's really tough for a lot of people. It's really, really hard to get your music heard. And, I'm going back to the, I guess you could call it the fulcrum point of just being an artist out there, trying to get your music heard amongst the billions of other songs that are uploaded and everyone else fighting for the same attention. It's pretty difficult. You can hire promotion companies to try and push the ball forward a little bit for you, which is cool. But it's pretty difficult. But you know what? We're musicians. This is what we love. So we make music. I know I do. I do it for myself. And I would almost equate it to perhaps maybe somebody who's an oil painter. You do the artwork for yourself. It's who you are. You're pouring your soul onto the canvas. Do you want people to potentially view your artwork? I would hope so.
Right.
But most of the time we do it for ourselves. And if other people do enjoy it, that's a nice bonus. And you have to come to that grip. You have to sort of come to that realization.
Right. It's all just about the love of playing and
sorry, everybody.
Creating.
I don't want to be Debbie Downer.
No. Well, and Dan, this is why I was asking, because it's just the harsh reality of all this now. And it's, I'm asking these questions because, we're kind of stepping into this, trying to help some new people and do shows and things. And really kind of guess that's where it's at anymore, is playing live and hopefully getting paid. And merchandise, basically those are some of the streams of really making any money. I'm looking into the possibilities of, I guess, CDs are kind of, everybody said, I'm old school now because they don't even really listen to CDs anymore, which I don't really find is so much true to my extent. But, now we're selling downloads. And it's a really tricky world out there as to what can you get, what can you listen to free on Spotify, basically, or one of those launching sites that will play music, iTunes, whatever your platform is that you're putting it out there on. But, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of reward back to the musician for those plays. And if you can find it on Spotify and just play it, how many people really want to own it anymore? And I am finding out that, people do like something physical in their hand in a way, whether it's a CD or, the download that's physical on their computer or whatever that is, or walk away. I was told by one of the bands this weekend that sometimes when they do live shows, they record the live show and they will actually just load those onto thumb drives and sell the thumb drives after, and they sell them out. I'm like, I never even heard of that. That's crazy. Like, what? Okay. So, a good way to maybe, once they've done the show, I was talking to one of the heavy hitters here in Slow, a recording guy who has amazing connections with, all the kind of underground independent bands that are trying to get up and make it. And you know what? He's basically in the same spot. Sometimes he really doesn't get paid what he should, or sometimes doesn't get paid at all, but it just depends on the project or this or that, and how much do you want to help out these people or those people, and it all goes back to you're doing what you're doing because you love doing it, and that was really the main thing that I got from him, is that it really again is. It's not all about just the money and what you make, but it is nice to kind of get some reward for what you do. You know what I mean? But nobody's doing this because they don't just. Go ahead.
A justification once in a while, but
yeah,
I guess it's kind of interesting. Not to go back to the misery of it all, but it's kind of interesting. And I don't know why the universe keeps showing me this, but it haunts me. Every time I turn on Instagram for a fast moment, I don't really use it much, but that website keeps showing me these videos made by somebody somewhere, and it's kind of sarcastic, but it's almost true. It's like this little 5-second video that shows somebody's Instagram page where nobody's listening to the guy's music or the girl's music, and some kind of voice just says, lower your expectations to 0. Nobody's listening. It's like, stop that. That's not cool.
Yeah. Well, obviously somebody is listening, It's kind of funny. You never know, right, Dan?
Yeah. If you are listening out there, hello, world.
Yes, I know exactly. Sometimes I feel that the same way, too. I thought, oh my gosh, I just made a mistake. Sometimes I want to be, try to be so professional and perfect on the show, and it's like, gosh, I made a mistake, and then I think, oh yeah, well, the 4 people that are listening today were probably not that upset, but you know what, we really do have a bit of a bigger following, and it's not all about how many people are or aren't listening. The one person that you're playing for can make the difference, especially when you're doing shows out, like, this weekend we worked with a band, did a show at a really small club, Dan. It was just crazy. They literally, it was funny, the food pantry for the restaurant was the green room. And I swear to God, it wasn't bigger than like probably 4x4. If we put like 4 guitars in there, it filled the place up, so. But they were a 7-piece band, and they were really amazing, but they squished them in this little tiny place, and I'll tell you, though, they rocked the house. It was just amazing. It was standing room only. People were standing outside looking through the windows. It was so packed, and it was really cool. But,
That's great.
It just boils down to, loving to play. And, I mean, that's what I think, we're trying to start our little adventure, or venture, you'd say, to, help bands do the other things that you shouldn't need to be worried about doing. And you were talking about hiring people for promotions and things, and again, when you're somebody like yourself, that can be a lot of money put out. I know you just you were just mentioning that you're working with somebody new to help you launch your stuff. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. I have to, I guess, at this point in time, guard my contact and treat it like not giving away the location of the Bat Cave. But absolutely, I signed on with a radio promotion company, and I couldn't be more thrilled. It took a few months for them to be able to accept me and find a window to help push my music.
Mm-hmm.
And I was told that last Friday, a few of my songs were sent out all across America to various radio stations and internet stations, actual terrestrial radio stations, and probably blogs and websites for review, and just trying to get the word out that I have a collection of new songs. I haven't put out a physical product yet. It's still digital, but I'm really excited about this. This little private company works with some of the biggest heavy hitters in rock music on the planet. And for little old me, I always think even just being on the radio today is such a thrill. It just is. I'm just so humbled and grateful by the whole thing. And for me, I always think I'm not so much of a big to-do out there. I'm just me. But when things like that happen, where, somebody with that type of, contacts or experience in the business thinks that they have something to work with what I'm doing, I'm just overwhelmed. It's really awesome. I'm sure most people feel that way when cool things happen to you and you didn't really ever think that much would occur from what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really awesome.
And so how do they, once they put out the music, I mean, do they get back to you, like, to where it was played and maybe what stations were actually putting it out? Do you get some sort of a metrics of it, where it's played or anything like that, or?
Yeah, I believe so. Just
Something
similar to what you have with cue sheets and all of the back-end business.
Mm-hmm.
I was told that the music got sent up to a few databases, and that's how they keep track of, spins, airplays, whatever's going on out there.
Okay.
So, as far as, ethics and real accounting and all that, you hope everything's going to play out the way you hope it will.
Right. So they just promote your music all over. So you know what I want to ask you about, and this kind of plays right into it, because we're in the same boat right now. Part of our expenses here at the station, we are a nonprofit station. We don't do any commercials, and every on-air talent here has the ability to pretty much do their own show as long as it's within FCC standards, of course. But one of the big things that the founder of this station did was make sure that we are paying into ASCAP and to BMI, so that every song that we play actually does get listed somewhere and logged and paid for by BMI or ASCAP. Do you have anything, or do you have any experience in, or have you ever received a check from somebody like BMI or ASCAP that's paying for your plays?
I am officially with ASCAP. I
Mm-hmm.
have been since probably 2008.
Yeah.
And I've seen a couple small little checks.
Cool. Okay. So that does kind of work.
Buy you a cup of coffee, but there it is.
Well, I have to always tell. I love, sometimes there's some Facebook posts that just stick in my mind that are just so funny, like the one you did the other day about the 38 days. But, one day Phil Sandoval put on, he took a picture of the little pocket in the jeans, like the little pocket in the bigger pocket, in the front. Yeah, sure. And he put his finger in that, and he took a picture of it, and he said, "This little pocket right here is for all the money you make for getting played." In other words, it doesn't add up to a lot. But I just thought that, I just never forgot that funny that's the little coin spot that, do you, from what I understand, once you get to like $20 or something, they send you a check. I don't know. Is that kind of true?
Something like that.
Something
I'll
like
have to call them and verify.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just curious. But so Dan, I wanted to kind of throw in, because I know I mentioned last week that you played at NAMM. I know you have played at NAMM before.
Yes, sir.
It wasn't this year, apparently. But I want to share, maybe a lot of people out there don't even know what NAMM is and how important it is probably to the industry. Can you share us a little insight on, the importance of NAMM and what does it provide for somebody like yourself?
Well, me as an artist, NAMM is, I'm not your, what you would call expert on the whole situation, but it basically, for anybody that doesn't know, it's the major industry convention that happens once a year, just like the comics have Comic-Con, the electronics in Las Vegas, whatever that show is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a convention for the music merchants, as they are called, the music industry, once a year. So all of the big companies come together, all your favorite guitar and amp and whatever, any company that makes musical instruments are there, and all the rock stars show up, all the musicians are there demonstrating the instruments, and it's just a really amazing experience if you love music. And, of course, people that own music stores, the real reason for it is for people who own music stores to go there to see what's new for the year and place orders from the people who are showing, the vendors.
Okay.
But, it's turned into a bit of a circus, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah. I'm sorry, what?
No, so it's mostly like manufacturers of equipment, basically. It's not more, are there like management companies there and things like that too that manage bands, or is it just mostly like a merchandise thing? Is it kind of like, do they do rock merchandise, like T-shirts and things like that, like those kind of companies, or basically?
I've seen companies that produce promotional material, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. There's a little bit of everything, really.
So the people that play are probably sponsored by these companies, like, the drummer plays with these drumsticks or this head, and so, I know, Gonzo was doing something, I guess, with D-Drum, I think it was, at his. So if you're kind of one of their sponsored musicians, then those are the people that play on the equipment at the show, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. They have appearances in the booth, and they perform for 15, 20 minutes, and everyone hangs around and has a good time. It's really awesome.
Wow. Well, next year I would like to go. I've not, out of all the years I've been in this music business or around the music industry, it's one thing I've never got to go do, so I think I'm going to have to put that on the bucket list for next year, and maybe we can go hang out. I'm going to come see you.
Around. This year was pretty cool for me. I did not, in fact, perform and do any live demonstrations, but I was very fortunate to be invited to a booth run by the High Wire Days magazine. They're an amazing rock magazine. I don't know if you get this up in Central Coast in physical hard copy.
Right.
But there's a really awesome fellow named Ken Morton who heads up the magazine.
Yeah.
He invited, he invited me to participate as an artist, and I got to stay at the booth for 15, 20 minutes, and I brought about 50 or 100 of my CDs that I burned here at home as kind of a little pre-release gift to anybody that might be walking by or whoever might want one. And it was really cool. I was sitting at the booth for 15, 20 minutes, and it was very well received. I got to hand out a bunch of my CDs and do a few autographs here and there. Hey, it made me feel so important.
You know what? And that's a really good feeling sometimes.
Yeah. Like 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, right. Well, you know what? I'll share a funny story that since you mentioned that, because I do fully understand that. It's just so funny. While I was out on tour with Michael, I saw fans line up for hours when the bus would pull up and just hope to get to see Michael or somebody in the band, and and they're all so special, and then you come off the bus and they're like, oh, it's like, oh, it's not Michael. It's like, and they look at, yeah, who are you? But we parked in front of the Great American Music Hall in San Francisco. The only place that you could park the bus was right in front of the venue. So while we were, Michael had a whole bunch of people lining up with records and things and wanted to sign, and of course, they think.
Now wait, please please stop the show for 1 second, because I know which Michael you're talking about, but maybe the rest of the people don't.
That's true. Michael Schenker is who we're talking about. Thank you, Dan. That was really
Yes,
good. Yes,
the
Michael
one and
Schenker
only
Group.
Michael Schenker.
The Michael Schenker Group.
Guitar hero of the universe.
He really is one of the goats of guitar, I got to admit. He has such a specific style and tone to how he plays is just amazing. But anyway, the funny thing was, we had gone onto the bus, and I had my whole merch booth set up. I went on and grabbed a little sandwich, and when I came back out of the bus, there was a girl at the front door that was letting people in with passes, and I had gone in and out with all my stuff so many times that she already knew me and, wasn't questioning who I was, obviously, anymore. I've been through the door a million times. But, she was in charge of making sure that door stayed locked and nobody who didn't belong in there didn't get in. But as soon as I got off the bus, she stepped out and opened the door for me. It was like 10, 15, 20 feet away, whatever. Somebody in line said to one of their friends, "Oh my gosh, he must be really famous. They opened the door for him." And I felt so important. I was like, wait, they're right. They opened the door for me. I am famous. But it was my 5 minutes of feeling important. It was like they really thought I must be somebody really famous. I said, yeah, I'm the merch. I stopped. I said, yeah, I sell the T-shirts.
You are famous, man. You're
was
a radio
cool.
personality. 97.3, 107.9, The Rock.
You
coming
got
from
it.
Morro Bay, Central Coast, worldwide.
Well, what's funny is sometimes people would come up to the booth and say, "Oh, are you Joe?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, who? What? How? Well, Steve Mann told me to come see you." Steve Mann is one of the guitarists in the band, and these guys go on Facebook and like, yeah, go by and see Joe. He's really cool. He's really fun. But it makes you feel special when somebody walks up. You have no idea who they are, and they're like, "Hey, are you Joe?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, how do you know me?" This is really cool.
Especially when you're sort of in the middle of nowhere.
Right. Yeah.
Places
Exactly.
You've never been before, right?
Well, that's the funny thing is, for as long as I've been around all of you guys in bands and, gotten passes and, we'll throw out Mike Inez from Alice in Chains, sometimes when Mike comes through, we'll, I'll text him and see, if he has a little room on the list. And, sometimes I think, oh my gosh, well, they're in Bina Robles in the middle of the Central Coast, who the heck does Mike know here? It's like, you know what? I realize that as you guys tour around, you make friends everywhere you go. And every time you come back, those friends are still there and they reach out. And it was like, you know what? It really doesn't much matter. Even I found out going across the country, people like Louie and a few others. When I came through town, Larry, Louie, a few of our friends from high school, they text me like, hey, I just saw you're with Michael Schenker Group, and I saw they're playing in Chicago by my house. Can you give me tickets? And I felt like, you guys for a change. It was like, oh my God, I'm really shocked at how many people you actually do know, and what a big family it starts to become, which is really kind of amazing. But anyway, we got way too far.
They are just coming out of the woodwork and just using you for what you're worth.
Yeah, right. Exact, true. But yeah, how many tickets can you get me this week? I know, right?
Is that the only reason why you're calling me? Hey, Pop.
Exactly. But I'm just super excited for you. It's been a long time coming, Dan. You've been in the business forever and ever and ever. And, you've been in Stone Soldier was one of the biggest bands in the 80s. You guys really knocked it out of the park. And, every time I watch you play guitar, the most crazy lead could be coming out, and it looks like you're barely even, you're never struggling to play. It's like your talent amazes me, and I'm blessed to even get to know you, and it's cool, So I'm excited that things are coming together for you, and I just wanted to, share your experience with some of the other people out there listening that are maybe in the same situation that you're in, and bringing out something new and CDs. Are you going to make some CDs that you're going to try to sell? Is there even a venue or an option to sell your CDs anymore anywhere? Or How do you go about doing that? Like, do
Well,
record stores take them anymore?
At the moment, I'm not playing live. I
Right.
don't even have a band. I heard you make mention earlier before I came on that one of your local artists is in search of a bass player and what have you, and
Yeah.
I'm still in the same boat.
Right.
I'm searching high and low to find musicians that have A, the ability to play the music, and B, the desire and want to do it
Mm-hmm.
and help me play concerts. And I guess C, the most important, the availability. Everyone's busy.
Yeah,
Right.
true, right?
It's just so frustrating. I mean, we all have to put food on our table and pay our bills, and the only thing that is putting money into most musicians' pockets is the tribute scene. You know, I know guys that are in like 7 or 8 or 9 or 12 or 13 of these different bands,
Right.
and all the more power to them. They're working.
Well,
they're playing
you know,
music. It's not an office job. They're out there performing and playing music and having fun. But for me, I'm trying to just find a bass player or drummer and go out as a three-piece. I'm still empty-handed and wondering if it will ever even happen. But in the meantime, I'm still working with the 5 songs that I do have right now that have been completely finished, mixed, and mastered.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pushing them over the radio right now.
Right.
And, I think if it's bound to happen, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and it will be organic when I probably least expect it. But my dreams are not diminishing, and my dreams are not going away. As much as I pray for them to go away, so my sanity will stay intact. I pray to God, take this music out of my brain so I could live a normal, healthy life instead of going insane over wishing something would happen, which I'm sure most
Right.
of you guys out there can feel the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I've been doing this ever since I was 14, and the reason why I wanted to play guitar was to play big concerts and, live that lifestyle. And it never quite panned out. Stone Soldier came real close. We did some amazing shows.
Yeah, no
but it
doubt.
never got to the next level.
Yeah.
And
True.
I am still fighting for that in my own life. And I have dreams by the end of this year to be opening up for some of the biggest names, and be it the Santa Monica Civic, you can't call it the Staples Center anymore. Now it's Crypto, whatever. I'd like to be at the Hollywood Bowl. I've still got dreams to play big, kick-ass rock and roll concerts. You'll never take that away from me, and as long as I'm here, I'm going to fight to make that happen.
Right.
And I know most of those guys out there that are playing have that in them. It's a fire that doesn't die.
Right.
You can't make it go away. You can't wish it away. You can numb your brain all you want, but that feeling isn't going to die.
Well, and I can only imagine once you do reach that level what that feeling is like. I mean, I've been on... One night I did get to help... Oh, 1 second, Dan. I'm going to have to take a tiny little break here. We do have a station ID I have to do. So bear with me 1 second. But let me throw this into your head before I forget. But I want to talk a little bit about your artwork and that guitar you built and the picks that you're doing. I was telling somebody about this last weekend. But hang on 1 second, okay? The Rock Community Radio, 97.3 and 107.9. The Rock, listener-supported community radio. KEBF, Morro Bay, KZSR, Paso Robles. We are streaming worldwide at therockcommunityradio.org. You can take us wherever you go with our free iPhone and Android app. Search for The Rock Community Radio in the Apple App Store or Google Play. You can also ask Alexa to launch The Rock Community Radio. You can email us at yourvoice@therockcommunityradio.org. Or you can call in the studio, like Dan, at 805-772-2037, 805-772-2037. And you know what? This is all about the community. Give us a call. Make some suggestions, things we can play. Fun, good stuff. All right, so thank you, Dan. Anyway, I was telling somebody over the weekend about your artwork and the guitar you built, and about the guy that has that equipment that you added onto your guitar. It was kind of like a Floyd Rose tremolo bar, I guess it is. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure, absolutely. Where would you like to even start with this?
Well, you
Once upon a...
yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry?
Yeah, no, it's
I'm
just
so...
interesting that you were building the guitar yourself, and your
Oh,
artwork
yeah,
was
yeah,
really
yeah.
cool.
Well, about a year ago, a little less, I I was going outside to get ready to go teach my guitar class that I teach at the local college, and one of my neighbors was having a little garage sale. And I just decided to poke over there really fast just to see what was going on, and she said she was moving, and she had this guitar just sitting there amongst all the other things she was selling. It was in a cardboard box. It just said Ibanez, and it was kind of a mystery, and I said, well, I don't know what you got there, but if you take $50 cash for it, I don't even know what it is. I'll buy it from you just to help you go to college. And she said, okay. So then I opened up the box, and I just said, whoa, no way. It was like a $300-$400 kind of an Ibanez guitar.
Wow.
I thought, wow. And I felt guilty. Is this? You only want $50? I mean, I was only kind of kidding around. She's like, oh, no, please, go ahead. Oh, okay. So I took the guitar, and I figured, geez, for only $50, I guess there's no harm in ruining it and sanding off the paint and putting my cartoon work all over it, because that's what I do. I love to draw. I love comics and comic books and stupid cartoon characters. So, yeah, I just kind of stripped the whole thing down, and I put some crazy artwork all over it with glow-in-the-dark paint, kind of like a 1960s San Francisco kind of an artwork thing that you would see. And, it's pretty cool. The front of it's got this kind of monster coming from the gates of hell kind of a thing.
It was very cool.
Yeah, it is pretty neat. And, along the way, I was just kind of showing my guitar around, and off to the side, of the universe, I have my good friend John Roman. That's right, everybody. And he's got this company that he's part of called Sophia Tremolos. Sophia, like the woman's name, of course. And these guys are amazing. They've taken what everybody has been using over the past 30, 40 years, the Floyd Rose guitar system, the whammy bar that every famous guitar player has ever used. And they sort of studied it and reverse engineered it and listened to all of the flaws and complaints about the thing and, the pros and the cons. And they, as far as I know, went about it to solve every problem that everybody ever kind of didn't like about it, and kind of built a better mousetrap in a way. So they endorsed me, and I'm an official quote-unquote Sophia artist, and they hooked me up, and on my monster guitar, I have their tremolo system, so it replaced the one that Ibanez came with the Factory, which was no good. You would hit the whammy bar thing, and all the strings would just go out of tune. It was a miserable nightmare. And I'm sure most guys that own a regular guitar, like a Fender Strat with a whammy bar, know the difference. If you try and use it and your guitar goes out of tune, it's just like, it's horrible. You have to learn how to retune it again. But this thing is magical. It stays in tune no matter how hard you abuse the thing or step on it, or it's just crazy cool. So anyways, not to throw out horrible shameless plugs, but this is probably like the greatest, most advanced system out there. I'm so grateful to have one of these things on my guitar and be part of this company. And yeah, they were walking around the NAMM show too, creating some excitement. So yeah, I mean, so many cool things to talk about, but that's definitely one of them.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and the reason why I brought that up is I'm really interested in the, you did your own artwork for guitar picks for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Now, those came out pretty cool. Do you give those out to your students?
I'm sorry, please say that again?
I said, do you give those out to your students?
Yeah, I do.
I bet.
Absolutely.
Those are cool. Those are really cool. So I'm curious, how did you go about? You did the artwork. There's obviously a company you can contact that takes your print and does that.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, geez, these days you could put a little cartoon or logo on just about anything, from a coffee mug to a beach towel,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know, talking about the NAMM show, for years and years and years, I've walked by this one company. I never felt I had a need to use them, but I knew about them. They're called PickWorld, pickworld.com.
Oh, cool.
And, you know, with all my cartoons and whatever, I thought, man, it'd be fun to walk around and have a guitar pick with some of my little, you know, guys on there.
Right.
So I contacted them, and it's not bad. For about $40,
Yeah.
you can send them one of your pictures, and they'll make 100 guitar picks for you.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, it's
And
pretty
then
cool.
does
They're
it,
little giveaways. They're little conversation starters, or little mementos.
Yeah. No, I think that's a neat little something special, something different.
Absolutely.
How cool. Well, Dan, it's been amazing. You've shared a lot of insights. I do want to play some of your music as soon as we get off, because Nancy was recording our interview today, so we're going to have to change chords to play some of your stuff. It's only on. We don't have a hard copy yet, and we weren't privy to that yet. You'll have to send me one anyway, or next time I come down, we'll have to get together. So anyway, is there anything else you would like to share in the rock world? Anything going on exciting down in LA? Any shows you're going to? Anything coming up?
Well, unfortunately, I can't be promoting my own show.
Yeah.
I'm not playing one.
Yes, very
If there's
true.
any drummers or bass players listening here in the LA area,
Yeah.
I think you and I should talk if you want to go out and kick ass and play some shows.
Yeah.
But as far as music, oh man, there's always something cool going on down here. You know, the Canyon Club, they have good concerts all the time. I don't know.
Yeah. Cool.
There's, nothing huge to talk about, but, if you play my music, I'm really grateful that you do. I hope everybody worldwide enjoys it. That's for sure. And I'm going to give you a shameless plug, Joe, while you're recording. This is Dan Sindel on 97.3 The Rock, and you are listening to The Morning Joe Show.
I love it.
There
Thank
you
Dan.
go.
Hey, you know what I want to tell you? It's kind of funny, but like I said, we are streaming worldwide. So the cool thing is I do have a monitor in the studio that shows me everywhere somebody has logged on a computer, which is really kind of neat. So there's a ton of blue dots in the country today, thankfully. So thank you, everybody, who's listening in. But I have to laugh because every week we also, like I said, it's worldwide. So I have blue dots in like Italy and Germany, and I have a feeling it might be some of the guys from the bands that we were touring with last year, but and some in South America, Brazil, and some other areas there. So, but there's one every week in Finland. And I'm like, wow, there's somebody here that's just always on, and it's so cool. I even got somebody listening in Finland, and every week they're here. And then I found out that they're like one of those companies that you were talking about. They take shows or listen in on radio shows, and they broadcast it again out over their venue. So every week, whatever they're doing, I don't know. But somebody in Finland is actually taking our shows and sending it in other places. So I have to learn a little bit more about that before I really get too crazy. But I was so excited. I thought it was one listener, and it's really not.
Hello, Finland. Hello, Europe.
It's they reach out all over Europe, apparently. So it's really pretty cool. We are streaming worldwide. We are worldwide, and your stuff is being heard worldwide. It's pretty cool.
Hello, Europe. Hello, world. I'll
Anyway,
see you soon one day.
Dan, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. I can't wait. I know you got some more music coming out, but we're going to play what you have already got. And, thanks for your energy and sharing back and making a difference in other people's who are in the same kind of boat or mentality, or however you'd want to put it. It's really amazing, and I really honestly, I've got to hang around with a lot of amazing musicians, and don't ever undersell yourself, Dan. You are one very talented individual. So.
Oh, thank you. You know, you just got to stay humble and let good things happen, and you know, fight the good fight. Not to be too cliche.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's a great song, actually. You remember that band, Triumph?
I love Triumph.
Yeah, fight
Are you
the good
kidding?
fight. Yeah, that's a great song. Actually, Images of Eden does that. Does a cover of that, and they reached out to him, and Triumph, the guys from Triumph, reached out to him and said, "Hey, that was really cool." You know what? I wanted to throw out something real quick though before we end our show. I did reach out to a venue here in Morro Bay. That's one of the bigger venues for music here, the Siren, and I met with the music booking guy there, and we had a lengthy conversation about bringing out local bands and doing a local showcase type thing for local bands, and about the draw and how do we put together a show, and he said, there's a million ways to skin the cat. There's so many different ways that we could get paid, not get paid, do donations, do whatever. But in the conversation, something you touched on a bit ago is he said these tribute bands are killing it, like just killing it. He's paying thousands to have these bands come play, and they sell out every single time. Yachtly Crew is coming, the Motley Crue one, but he said there's so many of them. The Led Zeppelin, the Zepp Girls. There's so many tribute bands out there that are crushing it, and they're getting paid pretty big money to do these, shows all over. It's just nuts. Yachtly Crew is playing the Fremont Theater, which is coming up here in San Luis Obispo, but they're also doing a show at the Siren in Morro Bay, and the Siren barely holds 300 plus people probably. But he says, the new thing is, these old tribute bands, people have a connection to the music. So when you put up somebody local, and this is kind of one of the things that, we're trying to change, and maybe one of our ideas for flyers outside of a venue, like where they list all the shows, is actually had like a little QR code or something that you can click on it right now. And I mean, I guess, you could do the research yourself when you see the thing and see the name and go, wait, well, let's look in and see what they sound like. But he said, most people would walk by and see the name of a local band and never heard of them, have no idea what kind of music they might play. And so these tribute band things, people have a familiarity. They know what to expect. They know what they're going to hear. And, if Motley Crue or whatever the tribute band is, was one of their favorite bands, if the tribute band's any good, then, they're selling out everywhere they're going. What's that one band used to play every Monday night at House of Blues? I can't.
Steel Panther?
Steel Panther, yes. Yes. That's who I think about. They do that 80s metal, kind of all the different songs. And they're an amazing show, actually, But, I had to laugh when we were in the VIP room afterwards one night at the House of Blues and got to meet them all. Of course, they're all, the 80s were all long-haired, hippie type rock guys. And so they're all wearing wigs now, Anyway,
oh, yeah, of course.
It's just so funny. But, you play the part. It's really cool. But, so you're right. Those tribute things are something people...
It's fun for everyone. You know what you're getting. You're not walking into an unknown.
Right.
That's part of the problem that original artists face.
Right.
You're up against that.
Yeah. So we're trying to figure out if, you do walk by a venue, how cool would that be if you could just put your phone up and boom, here comes the band and their music, and you go, wow, hey, you know what? They are actually pretty good. There's somebody I want to go see. But anyway.
Well,
Dan,
there you go. For anyone listening, keep original music alive. Give your local bands a chance.
Exactly. It's
sure,
so cool.
There's 10,000 tribute bands doing it, and you can relive the experience and hear the music you know and love, but please do support your local artists.
You got it.
It's the only music that matters.
Local music matters. I like it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dan, I'm
From
really
my
excited.
town to your town, support your local musicians.
You got it. Well, Dan, I'm going to leave with this. I hope that you do get a couple people that can play. I would love to have you guys up. We are starting to put together something here. So when we start putting together some bookings and some shows, we would love to have you up and play. And you know what? Honestly, if you want to play a little bass and come up to the Central Coast, I got a great band that badly needs a really talented bass player. But anyway, I don't want to take you away from your gig. So anyway.
Well, if you can give shelter to me and my dog, I'll be there.
Yeah. I got an extra room. No worries, Dan. All right. Well,
I
once
will
again.
work for pizza.
Yeah, wow, I have to pay that much? Anyway.
Yeah.
You're amazing. I love a good slice of pepperoni, right? It's the best.
Hey.
I love it. All right, Dan. Well, once again, Dan Sindel, everybody. Look him up. Look up. What are you on, Dan? Give yourself a shameless. You on Spotify? You can find your new stuff. I'm going to play it here in a minute.
It's nothing but shameless plugs, folks. Yeah, you can find my music on all the regular joints. Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. It's all there.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, Dan, once again, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing all of your experience and some insights. I love it. And do it one more time. Your it was Sophia Tremolos, huh? So if you're a guitar player, look into that. It sounds like a really cool thing. All right, buddy. Well, we'll be in touch, and hang in there. Listen to your songs. We're going to play them all.
Well,
Rockstar.
Thank you. I'm, as always, so grateful to be on the air. I hope everybody listening has fun, and rock on, good people.
All right, Dan. Till we talk again.
Much love, Joe.
Take
Thank
care,
you,
buddy.
Nancy.
You're amazing. Thank you. All right, folks.
Bye, everyone.
That was Dan Sindel, and we are going to play some of his new music we've been talking about for about the last, every time I talk to Dan, it's like an hour, I swear. I got to pee. Can I say that? I don't know. Anyway. All right. I think I just did. Oh, shoot. Anyway. All right, folks, we are going to go right into playing Dan, and we'll be back after these songs. Thanks for listening in.
Rock and roll. With all due respect, I'll be direct. Need to correct what's not perfect. How to correct things I suspect. Cannot neglect clues I detect. With all due respect, with all due, yours is yours, mine is mine. How could you dare to cross that line? Tables are turned out in my favor. With all due respect, victory I savor. With all due respect, I'll be direct. Need to correct what's not perfect. How to correct things I suspect. Cannot neglect clues I detect. With all due respect, with all due respect, with all with all due respect, with all due respect, you'll never have respect.
listener supported. CentralCoastRadio.org. And thank you.
That's right. You're listening to the Morning Joe Show on 97.3, 107.9, The Rock.
King of the hill, the devil that takes you so far, you get what you earn. To deal with the devil that takes you so far, my friend, you'll never learn. Yeah, it's like this. Tonight there's going to be an incident. Time to take control. Hotter needles, spinning wheels in the name of rock and roll. Crash and burn, no wait for tomorrow. In the world is your soul. Infiltrate, intoxicate in the name of rock and roll. Stepping stone, so I've grown. How strong is your life now? Stepping stone, colors are shown. No one can help you now. Stepping stone, out on loan. How strong is your life now? Stepping stone, die alone. No one can help you now. To deal with the devil when he takes you so far.
The Rock Community Radio, 97.3 and 107.9. The Rock, listener-supported community radio. KEBF, Morro Bay. KZSR, Paso Robles.